Hi, I'm Scott Flowers with Cloud Ninjas. Today we're here to continue our series on the Dell PowerEdge R830 Server. In this video, we're going to specifically focus on drives, both hard drives and solid-state drives. Let's get going. Hey, thanks for stopping by today to learn a little bit more about the Dell PowerEdge R830 Server. Do us a favor, if you find anything that helps you in this video, click that like, smash that subscribe. All right, we'll top in. This video is going to be specifically dedicated to drives. So what we're going to do in this video as a whole is first we're going to talk about the different types of chassis. Then we're going to go over the different compatible interfaces. We're going to hit the speeds, the sizes for all those different interfaces. Then we're going to physically show you how to install, which is super easy because it's a hot swap drive, but nonetheless, we're going to show you how to do the install. And at the very end, we're going to show you two really cool testing tools that we like. One of them is HD Sentinel, which we'll use that to test if we have a drive that we're about to put into production and maybe we weren't able to get it from the manufacturer or a reputable source, and we had to go to eBay or someplace that we aren't necessarily always fans of, and we want to test this drive. HD Sentinel will test the power on hours, the health score, plus a bunch of other stuff. So it's just a good way to kind of test your drives out before you put them into a live production environment. And then the other tool we like is Dell Diagnostics, which is going to test a lot more than just the drives themselves. It's going to test the whole box, but those are the tools that we're going to show you. So let's just hop into the fun stuff. So what types of chassis options are there? Well, there are two types of chassis options. You have your 8-bay small form factor and you have your 16-bay small form factor. And both of these are going to be SAS and SATA only. No, unfortunately, there is no NVMe with the backplane on the 830s as a whole, and really there's just not a great NVMe solution as a whole for the R830s, which is a whole different barrel of worms. So we'll just stick kind of within the Dell specs of what is kind of native to the R830. And if you have a great M.2 or PCIe whatever solution for some NVMe, hey, drop a comment down below. I'm sure people would love to hear it. But as far as the main drives that you're going to use, it is going to be SAS and SATA. Those are going to be the two main interfaces, and that is both for hard drives and solid-state drives. All right, so that's going to clue us in that there's going to be 4 drives that you can use as a whole. That's going to be a SATA and SAS solid-state drive and SATA and SAS hard drive. And so the SATA solid-state drive, you're going to get 6 gigabit per second. That's going to be your max speed. Whereas with a SAS solid-state drive, you can get 12 gigabit per second. So the SAS solid-state drive is going to be the fastest option possible with this machine. And the sizes that you can use are going to be, according to Dell spec sheet, 3.84 for the SATA and 7.68 for the SAS. We played around a little bit, and I wish I had a 15 TB for the SATA, but we did put a 7.68 SATA in, just worked just fine, and we threw a 15.36 SAS in and worked just fine, which makes me believe that probably a 15.36 SATA would work as well, but I didn't have the opportunity to check it out. So if you did, hey, be the first to drop a comment down below and let everyone know that the 15 TB SATA works as well. So for hard drives, it's not quite as sexy. You're going to have 7.2K for SATA, it's going to be 7.2K, 10K, or 15K for SAS. So that's revolutions per minute, and that's going to be your spinning disk just going around and around and around and around. And when you think about that, I mean, even the SATA at the slower speed at 7,200 times per minute, I mean, you do the math, that's going to wear out over time. So it makes it less reliable because you have a mechanical device as opposed to a straight, electronic device, and so those ball bearings will wear out, especially for SAS. They're going 15K. You're just, I won't say you're asking for trouble, but it's going to happen, and so over time they do wear out. So we do always recommend keep an eye on the health scores of your drives, and just make sure if you're using an older drive, it might be worth it to have a spare laying around just to be, extra safe. As far as the sizes, you get a whopping 2 TB for the SATA and 2.4 TB for the SAS, and that is accurate, unfortunately. And so that's going to be the maxes that you're going to get for hard drives. So some huge advantages overall for solid-state drives, especially in my opinion, if you get some good SAS solid-state drives, that's a huge winner for the 830. All right, so now we're going to show you how to do a quick install, but before we do, I'm going to grab my ESD gear and be right back.
Hey, this is Mason with Cloud Ninjas, and today I'll be showing you guys how to install your drives into your Dell PowerEdge R830 server. Now, as you can see, we have our ESD gear on, and it is safe to work on our machine. So first we have our SSD in a 2.5-inch tray, and we also have our 2.5-inch hard drive in a 2.5-inch tray. Now in this video we will go ahead and show you guys how to uninstall a hard drive and swap it with a solid-state drive. So first thing you'll do is press that orange circle on the tray right here, and the lever will pop out, which means you can easily pull out that hard drive and then set it to the side. Now we will just take our SSD and prep it by pressing the circle and popping out that lever just like we did the last one. And so now sometimes your drive may get stuck and it just may not go in all the way. And the solution for this is to press that spring in the corner of the lever in the drive tray, and then that will allow you to fully insert the drive into the bay. So now we'll go ahead and show you this again. All you'll need to do is just insert the drive as far as you can, and then go ahead and press that spring, and then it will allow you to fully insert the drive and lock the lever back down on the tray. There you go, you've done it. You have installed your drives into your Dell PowerEdge R830 server. And now we will go ahead and show you guys two testing tools that we really like: Dell Diagnostics and HD Sentinel. Be right back.
All right, we're going to start by showing you how to run Dell Diagnostics. And technically, with Dell Diagnostics, it's going to test more than just your hard drive. It's really going to test all the components in your system. But this would be how we would recommend testing the hard drives. And yes, it will take some time, so we will fast forward through chunks of this here. So really, it's very simple. You're going to basically on the boot up screen, you're going to hit F10. And this is going to take you to your lifecycle controller. When you get to the lifecycle controller, you're going to select Hardware Diagnostics. When you select Hardware Diagnostics, it's going to take you to another screen here. You're going to select Run Hardware Diagnostics. Fairly simple, right? After you select Run Hardware Diagnostics, it's going to give you the option here. It's going to tell you it's going to take several minutes. Click Yes to continue. And after you click Yes, it is going to take a bit of time to do all this. The nice thing too is Dell will show you the progress as it goes. It'll show you everything from the fans and the memory and the hard drives and a whole bunch of other stuff in here. But specifically in this case, what we're going to be looking for is the hard drives. And so we're going to go ahead and fast forward right here because it's going to take a little bit of time. All right, so you can see the tests start automatically as soon as you click it. It's really an easy process as a whole. It's just going to run it, and it's going to take some time. In our case, it took us about 10 to 12 minutes for it to fully test everything here. Once the test is complete, you're going to get a screen that's going to pop up. In this case, it's telling us that there was failures. Check out the results. We click yes, continue testing. It's done. Click OK. You can go into the results, and in the results tab, it'll have all the different hardware. On the left side, it also will show you a green check versus a red X. You can see that all the hard drives passed, all the other stuff, backplane, video card, the fans were a good, processor, memory, etc. Everything's fine on a hardware level. And you can scroll to the top of that results area, and you will see all the details here on the individual drives and which slots they're in. So relatively easy overall. It will take some time to run it, but realistically, it's not that much time, and making sure that your system is in good working order, it's important. So now we're going to show you how to do HD Sentinel, which I get is not Dell, but I feel like it's really good for checking on power on hours, health scores, and some of this kind of stuff for your drives. So we will continue with that next. All right, so now we've got Hard Disk Sentinel pulled up, and this is relatively simple as well. You just need to make sure you download the program. What we actually do is we have a separate server hooked up to a bunch of storage arrays so that we can test in bulk, but you just basically need to make sure you have it hooked up. When you pop in drives, they're going to auto-populate, and you'll start seeing them pop up on the left. So we're starting off with 2 in there, but we're going to go ahead and toss 2 more in as we go. And like I said, it's relatively simple. You pop them in, they auto-populate up. You'll see them on the left. You can click on them, and you'll see the health score. You'll see if it's running hot, if there's too much temperature on there. When you click on them, You can see the power on time in the middle, how much estimated lifetime is left. There's a lot of cool features here. It's a good way to make sure that you have a healthy drive, because obviously if you're running somebody's data or your own data, you want to make sure that it's protected and not in a drive that is going to fail in the near future. So this is a nifty way to test. And also, if you're just buying drives from people you don't know, and you want to make sure you're working with a reputable vendor, this is a great way to physically just test them. So you can see we just popped in the 500 gig and another 500 gig, and they're popping up on the left. And it's just as simple as just a hot swap or plugging it in, and then you can click on it and see how long it's been on. So this one's been on for 2,200 days, 2,600 days. I mean, those are a fair amount of years put into those drives. So those aren't drives that we would personally want to sell or recommend. So even though they're still in good health, they still have 100% health, those aren't drives that we'd really want to use. Now 500 days, that's really not that bad. It's less than 2 years, and you'll have plenty of time left. So, but anyhow, appreciate you stopping by to learn a little bit more about how to test your hard drives. If you're looking for any hard drive upgrades, do us a favor and email us at sales@cloudninja.com. That's sales@cloudninja.com. We'd love to help you out. Thanks for stopping by. Take care, guys.